If you're a self-sabotager and you're struggling to make progress in your life, then I've got some good news for you. I'm going to share with you the reasons why this typically happens, but more importantly, I'm going to give you a couple of strategies for beginning to tackle this so you can begin to not only make progress, but also begin to feel a lot better about what's going on, where you're going, how far you're reaching, and more importantly, giving yourself that all-important pat on the back when you do actually start to achieve stuff. But first I want to address something about self-sabotage, and one of the keys, common characteristics among self-sabotagers is that we often have a lack of direction. We're not clear about what we want from life, where we want to go, what we want to achieve, what any kind of success, progress, meaningful life looks to us. That's a common characteristic. So, and there's no small wonder with this, because your brain is not actually geared towards making you successful. Your brain isn't geared towards making you happy either. Your brain is actually geared towards survival, keeping you safe, free from harm, and to some extent comfortable. Not rocking the boat, not getting out of your comfort zone. The problem is that your comfort zone is a trap. It will keep you there, and if you're way too attached to it, you're not going to get very far at all. Now, neuroscience does back this up. They recognize that our fear response when things start looking different kicks in way too well for people who self-sabotage. And one of the reasons we self-sabotage is because we do have an overactive sense of self-preservation. Our brain just fear response kicks in. So what can we begin to do about this, and what does the science look like? Well, first of all, it's very important to know, first to start with where you are. What is it you don't like about where you are? What do you want to change? And then don't dwell too much on that, but just get a reasonable picture of that. And next, and arguably, well no, much more importantly, what do you want progress, success to look like? Want to overcome self-sabotage? What does that mean to you? And this is important, because once the brain understands where it wants to go, it will, whether you realize it or not, start to look for opportunities and ways to begin to make this happen. But you have to make that all-important first step. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? What does it look like? Taking into account what it is you don't want, then examine what it is that counters that, the opposite to that you do want. Now, a good example, say for example you're a little overweight and you want to get fitter, lose some weight, slim down. Okay, that's great. Where you are is overweight and underfit. Where you want to be is what? Be specific. Is there a particular body measurement that you want? A BMI, for example. Is there a fitness goal that you want? You want to perhaps run a 10K or a half marathon. Is there a particular waist size, dress size that you want? And be very specific. And the more specific you are, the easier the next bit becomes. Because what I want you to do next is to focus on how it will feel when you get there. Not just getting there, but how's it going to make you feel? Give yourself the opportunity to feel good in expectation of where you want to go. The reason being is because your brain latches onto good feelings, and it always looks for opportunity to give you more of them. Your brain wants to avoid the bad feelings, but it also will help you head towards good feelings as well. But you need to be clear about where they are, what they are. Now, I've just given you a couple of examples, and this could be career goals, could be relationship goals, could be financial goals, business goals, whatever. Understand where you are now, but don't dwell too heavily on it. Think about what is the opposite to that. What do I want to achieve? Where do I want to go? And more importantly, arguably most importantly, make sure you feel good about when you're going to get it. How are you going to feel when it actually happens? Now, I want to tell you a story about my life. I'm clearly walking on a beach. This is Muriwai Beach on the west coast of Auckland in New Zealand. Now, I've been wanting to come back here for 18 months. And I was in Fiji. I couldn't get a visa to come back to New Zealand for a bunch of different reasons. Couldn't really afford to come back to New Zealand. But this is where, This is one of my favorite places to be. And this was a clear picture of where I wanted to be. This very, very beach. Walking in the ocean right here. I've been surfing this morning. The point is I had a very clear picture of where I wanted to be, and more importantly, I had a very clear picture of how I was going to feel when I got here. And when I got here a few weeks ago, after being out of New Zealand for over 18 months, I cried. I don't mind admitting I cried. Because when I put down that this was my goal, I didn't know how I was going to accomplish it. Couldn't afford a flight to New Zealand. But I was clear about what I wanted, and I saw opportunities to begin to make this happen. And that's just one example from my life. I have a whole bunch I could share. The more I look into it, the more I dive into this, the more it begins to happen. And the cool thing is once you start doing it, the more it will begin to happen for you as well. So, just to reiterate, focus on where you are, have a think about where you are. Next step is to think about where you want to be, what that's going to look like, how's it going to smell, and more importantly, how will it feel? How good are you going to feel when you finally get whatever it is that you want? Like I said, a new job, a place at university, a new relationship or an improved relationship, healthier, fitter, better you. Latch on to that feeling. And just as in for me and for millions of others, you will begin to spot opportunities to make this happen. Your brain kicks into gear once it knows where it's going. But if it doesn't know where it's going, any path will do, whether that's what you want or not. So, got any questions? Please just let me know. I'm happy to help. That's what I do. And if you're not already subscribed, do me a favor, hit subscribe. It helps a lot. And click the like button. But above all, thanks very much, and bye for now.